Hello, Planet Watchers. Welcome to Gemini. We're going to be talking today about
Everyone,
Gemini in 2023. You look so springy today, Mary Jane.
green is Mercury's color, is Gemini's color.
I had no idea.
Oh, yep, yep.
Wait,
All of nature is hooked in. Every sign, every planet has its reigning color. It's all based on vibration, isn't it? And so, anyway, green is Mercury's color, is Gemini's color, is spring's color.
wings color. So Mercury is Gemini's planet.
Yeah, Mercury is in charge. Total is the only dominant planet in domination of Gemini all
Okay.
by itself. Some of the signs have two masters. Libra, for instance, is ruled by Saturn as well as Venus. But Gemini and Sagittarius are have only one ruler each. Mercury for Gemini, and Jupiter is in charge of Sagittarius. So we always go back and look to see what the ruling planets are doing all this time. Huh?
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. And as we record this, what is it? May 15th,
Yeah.
we just finished with a really gnarly Mercury retrograde.
Oh, so dreadful. And yeah, it's so nice of Mercury to decide to go direct before getting into Gemini territory. So kind of straighten out what can possibly happen in the next month anyway, in this next period of Gemini. Things will definitely start to make sense, which they haven't been doing very recently.
No, not at all.
This has been like lost key city, lost messages, lost papers, lost common sense, lost communication, lost in translation, just the weirdest month. I don't know if all of you out there have been going through the same thing, but I wouldn't be too surprised.
I was hearing from people all over the place about
Mm.
what is going on here.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I tell you, it was now I'm usually a fairly strong defendant of Mercury in retrograde. I always think there's a way to use this energy, right? But I couldn't figure out any good way to use it last month. So I'm kind of glad it's over anyway. On
Oh,
to the next.
happens if or when, because I'm sure this is inevitable, what happens when Mercury goes retrograde during Gemini?
Oh, it does happen. I can't remember the last time. I haven't been keeping really track. But it just I think the energy that we're trying to get organized in Gemini has a lot to do with communications. We're going to see problems in putting things in the mail, email as well, a little less for cyber information, but certainly packages being sent and things being delivered, this kind of thing, driving, even circulation, as far as being out on the road, would get pretty much screwed up, doubly so, I think, if we had a Mercury retrograde during the period of Gemini, when all of these issues are doubly important anyhow.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can only imagine. Thank God this is over. I'm traveling. This is again May 15th. I'm traveling this Thursday to Nashville for the Galactic Expo.
Which is a biggie. That covers quite a bit of territory.
So let's get cracking into Gemini. What do we have in store for Gemini 2023?
Okay, well, I've got three major movements, a couple of planetary movements that are pretty telling, and we'll figure them into our movements. Pluto is going retrograde, has made a move into an incursion into Aquarius last month, but is going to be going retrograde, going back into his fairly wretched habits of hanging out in Capricorn until, oh gosh, he's there until January 24, when he finally gets settled in Aquarius again. So we're going to see with this backward, especially a retrograde Pluto, again, we're going to have issues with banks and with people with authority. And the economy, especially the banking system, I think is going to be in serious trouble, and we're going to see a lot of litigation around these banks failing, uh, all kinds of economic difficulties during this
Mm.
period, especially right now, during the month in Gemini, because this Pluto right now is opposite, just right now, is opposite Mars as well, in square to Jupiter. So we're having lots of litigation. Very legal matters in general are going to be stymied. The court system is not working right. They're overbooked, and a lot of details that we were supposed to be using this month are just not going to come to the surface in a logical fashion. If people out there, us common mortals, if you've got litigation, if you've got legal concerns that you're wanting to get established or get finished, this is going to be a very difficult month until the 19th of June, to get anything done, any progress done in this particular department. It also, because Jupiter's in charge of certain medical concerns, it's a rather bad period until, I'm going to say, the 19th of June to have any elective surgery done. If there's nothing you cannot put off, like if you can put off any elective surgical concerns, or even I would say cosmetic surgery, or anything you can avoid anyway right now, feel free to do so. It's a good idea.
So what periods would that apply to?
Well, right now, the Jupiter square to Mars and Pluto is from the 18th of May until the 9th of June, and then going through to the 19th of June, the square to Pluto. So this whole month, in fact, until I would say the 20th of June, uh,
A great time for
yeah,
surgery.
put off any dates, any court dates, as well as operation dates, surgical dates that you can. There are some particularly difficult ones where the moon is getting active in here on the 24th of May, the 31st, and then into June the 7th and the 13th, as well as the 20th of June. Look particularly nasty just because the moon is coming down and shining on this whole mess.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our deal with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is being otherwise rather polite. Jupiter's coming into Taurus for the year, already on the 17th. We'll be done with that this week, and we'll be staying in Taurus for a year. Now, this is a very interesting time. Jupiter in Taurus is very interested in building, in architectural concerns. If this is a time that during this year, maybe not right away, but a very interesting time to be drawing up plans for your new house or the new addition, or laying out your garden plans. Jupiter in Taurus is very interested in land purchases as well. And all kinds of treatment of the earth in general. So Earth Day should figure out in here sometime soon, because Jupiter will be helping a lot in assigning legal dates, court dates, opening dates for new institutions who are going to be taking care of the planet. It's a very interesting time for that.
Hmm.
So Jupiter in Taurus is very active. He's not its most potent, but has a lot of things to do on an organizational basis and on a constructive basis in Taurus. I love to see Jupiter in reaction to Venus, in reaction to Taurus energy, because it's a sign of architecture.
Mm.
And we will often see in a person's chart, in an architect's chart, a connection between Jupiter, Sagittarius, Taurus, Venus, because of this notion of building something out of nothing, and it should be made out of some sort of serious earthly material.
Mm.
So that's what that's about. Anyway, this Jupiter otherwise is making some, especially this first half of the month, is making some kind of nasty aspects. But we'll be out of that woods toward the 19th of June.
Good. Not a
Now,
moment too.
and another subject altogether that I wanted to bring up was an important movement of Venus, my friend Venus, who is moving in a semi-square 45-degree angle. Now we know that this is the maximum distance Venus can ever be from the sun. And she's going to be in this position. They're moving together at about the same speed, curiously enough, all month, all through May, all through June, well into July, in fact. Now, this is a time, she's going to get some help, but this is a time basically, this awkward, even conflictual aspect between Venus and the sun represents a period of loneliness,
Mm.
represents a period where you'll feel as though you're just in not being understood, not being loved. You feel far cut off from people around you. Now, this is going on in a nice long time, so we've got to get used to it. But this first part, from the 19th to the 31st of May, is a time when this Venus is seeking and is receiving a lot of help from Saturn, of all people, and Vesta and Uranus, who are going to be giving this Venus some help. You know, when I drew this up, I said, this looks like a period of class reunions, or family reunions, where all of a sudden you're looking up the old boyfriends, the old girlfriends, reviving old relationships, that kind of thing. Saturn can be a big help through there during this early period, especially. Keep your antennae open if you're going to a class reunion. It could be very interesting well, we just never know. You just never know with this kind of relationship. It now gets a little more rugged and some of these relationships don't hold water for very long because they're going to we're going to have some more trouble with this uh, in after the 18th of June, when first of all, Venus is moving away from this aspect to Saturn. So she's not going to be getting that help as far as old relationships go. And we're going to ease into a period of testing these new relationships that have been formed, a period of very slow business affairs as well. This time between after the 18th of June, anyway, from the 6th. Actually, from the 6th to the 21st of June is a very slow period for getting business off the ground, business affairs. Look for the odd sale, but basically you have to be very attentive to reading the fine print in contracts, in warranties on goods that you're trying to buy, make good deals on. Not the best period all told. And we can see finally that these new finds that we've made during this help from Saturn don't tend to hold water. You're finally thinking, oh, maybe I should have left him where he was, all these years ago in high school, whatever. It doesn't last forever. And as we get into a period now, both of these planets are going to be going square to Jupiter. And I'm thinking of a time, the vacation romance, this kind of more or less uh, illicit, I must say, during this time of when Venus is in fact in close conjunction with Mars for all of the period of June. This looks like a very sexy period, but everything seems to be based on risk-taking,
Mhm.
on not wanting to be totally fair with the person opposite us. Uh, Difficult to count on the vacation romance, and this seems particularly true this month of June. And they tend to fall apart rapidly after the 15th, in fact. After the 15th of June, we get involved with a square to Uranus that is telling me to be very careful about things you're buying, things you're selling, um, any important purchases or any important movements of funds have to be double checked. Be very, very careful with buying and selling. Read the fine print, check out the guarantees, check out the warranties. All of those things need doing after the 15th of June.
Okay. Hmm.
That seems pretty important. And then they're all getting involved in an opposition to Pluto from the 4th to the 13th of June. So it's rugged. Could be fun, but I wouldn't take any of this very seriously. You want to just be very careful where you're putting your feet and your heart and your money doing these difficult periods. There are no evil. Oh, there are some kind of hard days in here. The 7th, the 12th, 13th of June. Also the 18th to the 22nd of June look a little rugged, a little risky even for, as I said, placing money, placing importance on our relationships at that point.
Hmm.
The third thing I really wanted to get involved in, and I think it could be somewhat important, from the 21st to the 23rd of May, we're looking at a period of very complicated square with between Neptune and the Moon with Ceres that are going to put a strain on especially mother-daughter relationships. It's brief, but maybe important. 21st to the 23rd. This is also a time that you must be careful with if you have sensitivities or allergies, food allergies, uh, toxic. There's an idea of toxicity in here with element, with nourishment, but also in our relationships, as I said. You want to stay away from, or be very careful in any case, with drugs, with sleeping pills, other types of medication, especially self-medication. And it's also a period where we can have very disturbing dreams. As soon as the moon and Neptune are in, especially a rather conflictual square, we're likely to see a lot of dream movement, a lot of ideas coming again from the unconscious, sending out some rather difficult messages. Now, with the help, I'm thinking with the help from Mars and from Sedna, also from Sedna especially, there could be a notion in this dream life, in this dream time, of correcting some important emotional things that have been going on, especially in families. Not necessarily always in families, but there's an idea of finding a relief, finding a correction. Be very uh, careful of your to listen to the unconscious messages you'll be receiving, awake or dreaming. I don't care. They usually come up when they need to, but it's good to follow your instincts as far as your especially emotional relationships during this time. Again, it's brief, but it's a very rich period, and could be interesting with that for things that we have to decide or listen to again on a rather unconscious level.
Mhm.
Now, those are the things I wanted to talk about. I hope this has been somewhat interesting. Anyway, just to be brief, if any of you out there have things to buy, things to sell, people to meet, old old boyfriends to look up, litigation that's still outstanding, come and see me, and we'll try to put these things in order on your own birth charts.
Find a
That's
good
the way that
time.
works.
I mean, there's never a good time to have a lawsuit, but
But
if,
if you can make it work for you.
if we have any choice in the matter, pick that at least it's not going to be too painful or could be more fair for everybody.
Right, right. And again, you have to see which end of the stick you're holding. If every time there's a loser, there's also a winner in here. And if we can figure out where your energies or each of our energies lies, why so much the better. We can finally figure out if we're winning, if we're losing, if we're holding, if we're folding, what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice. So that's it for Gemini. See everybody again in Cancer.
So long.